Okay, minasan, today we are gonna talk about Kamen Rider Gotchard episode 9. Before watching Kamen Rider Gotchard episode 9, let us start with the trailer. Let's go. Gotchard! Let's go! Yep. Okay. That's nice. Interesting. So the next episode is gonna be a lot of fun because we get to see they are wearing a bunch of different outfits and they are going to Kyoto, which is quite surprising. I did not expect a school trip so fast into the series itself. I was kind of like thinking like maybe the school trip is gonna take place around like episode 30, kind of like halfway through the series, but episode 9 is okay, I guess. So with that being said, let us go through the trailer scene by scene to figure out what we can learn from the trailer itself. Okay, so one thing that I'm really kind of like surprised of is we don't actually kind of like get to see kind of like what am I trying to say here, like we don't actually get to see a lot of Houtarou in the school activity, something like that, and yet this episode is all about him going out there as a school activity, something like that. Okay, so it's kind of weird if you really think about it. It's kind of like it's like the school is not really kind of like a big part of the story, but it is still kind of like a big part of the story. I'm not sure if you get what I mean or not, but next episode they are going to Kyoto. The first scene we actually get to see this already. Like I think Kajiki is doing the Uchiu Kita pose like in the Kamen Rider Force. I think when Gentaro actually went to Kyoto for the first time, he also did a similar pose in front of the similar train station. So I think this. So next we actually get to see this scene, really interesting stuff, which is a movie set if not mistaken, because they actually call it the Ezumasa Ega Mura. So this is kind of like most of the traditional Japan movie and or drama when they want to find a place to shoot. I think this is the place that they're gonna shoot most of the time because all the traditional buildings are still here, and I think a lot of the people that is living here are actually kind of like embracing the traditional Japan, like our way and all those stuff. Maybe this is also where the geisha actually stays as well. Okay, so I'm not so sure, but moving forward we actually get to see like Rinne is still, you know, like, why am I here? Just to suffer. And then Houtarou is like, why am I here? Just to lose my voice by shouting in every single episode. But yeah, let me move on. Next we get to see this girl. I'm not sure who is this girl, like in the story perspective. Is she one of the actors? Is she just one of the locals in Kyoto? Is she one of the geisha? I'm not sure, okay, because like she looks really beautiful, so she definitely has a kind of like a significant role to play. Like even the episode actually kind of like put kind of like a close attention to her than we would actually expect. Like Kajiki catches a romance, something like that. So we are not sure like who this girl is supposed to be and how she's gonna play a part in the story itself, but based on Kajiki's response, it would actually seems like this girl is kind of like a one of the actress, or maybe like that. Maybe I'm wrong, because next thing we actually get to see like Kajiki kind of like holding a book in front of the girl and like showing it to her. Maybe like she acted in this thing or something like that. We are not sure, but you know, I guess anything can happen. Okay, anything can happen. Next we get to see this scene. She looks really similar to Nago here, especially in this shot. Like her hair, the way they do her makeup and all those stuff. Oh my god, I was like, damn, is she Nago? But she's not Nago, okay, but she still looks really beautiful. And I don't know. Next get to see Ninja versus not Atropos, Cloto, okay? Ninja Cloto fight, and then we get to see Minato finally fighting with someone. And the way Minato actually throw his punch, like he's actually doing kind of like a block or kind of like a hand thing, something like that. And most of the people, when they throw a punch, they're gonna use another hand to gauge the distance. This is a very, very subconscious thing that someone will actually do. Like someone, like usually when you see someone put their hand in front, this is kind of like to be kind of ready to block and also to gauge the distance, like then he will actually go in for the punch, something like that. Okay, so that is really, really interesting. Next we also get to see some more action scene, and next we get to see Houtarou in some really, really funny costume, like traditional costume, and we actually get to see his hair is not finally covering his eyebrow. And what did I say? When he revealed his eyebrow, you can see his eyebrow is doing a lot of the acting, his forehead is doing a lot of the acting. And when you look at this, you will actually know that he's like having is either really happy or she is having a little bit of like a what is going on moment. It's like, oh no, what is happening, something like that. So he is using a lot of the forehead and the eyebrow for his acting itself. So like I already talked about this, just give him a new hairstyle, show more of his forehead. I think it's definitely gonna improve his acting on the show itself. So that is really, really nice. Next we get to see Goro Dash, and also apparently Renge. I think Renge is the one that is like riding the bike, and then Sabi is sitting behind Renge like, hey, we need to go to Kyoto, we need to support them and all those stuff. But I think this is gonna be a really, really dumb and fun scene. It's like, hey, faster, we need to hurry up, and then Renge be like, ah, and they are not gonna kind of like play a significant role in the story itself. Okay, so that is really, really interesting. Another thing that in the previous episode that really, really stood out to me, like I think is because one thing that stood out to me, oh my god, I am not in the moment right now, but let me just continue. Sabi in the previous episode actually is kind of like given a really, really interesting character plot point, something like that, because in the previous episode we actually get to hear Spana mentioning something about Sabi, like, wow, your reputation precedes you and something like that. So I think like we might actually get to see like at the end of the day, like maybe Sabi wasn't a person that is shy and bashful in the beginning of the day, but like he eventually became this type of person because how his ego, his faith, it was being crushed, and therefore he become kind of like a hermit shell, something like that. Maybe no, I'm not sure. Okay, but next, moving forward, we get to see the henshin scene, and then we get to see this amazing scene of Rinne posing as kind of like a samurai. She looks good, not gonna lie. And by the way, for those who do not know, that doesn't really consume a lot of like Japanese media, the costume that Rinne is actually wearing right now is the costume of the Shinshen Gumi. The Shinshen Gumi is the peaceful samurai that was being like I think it was the Shogun samurai, something like that, because when they enter into kind of like the Shogun period, something like that, there are still a lot of people carrying around katanas and all those stuff, and there are still a lot of people going out there and killing people using the katana. So what the government did is they actually hire a bunch of samurai to become kind of like their special police forces, something like that, and those are the Shinsen Gumi. Okay, so with that being said, next I think that is the end of the trailer. I think next episode is definitely gonna be a lot of fun. I don't think it is gonna be a very, very bad episode, partly because they are going to a new place and they are going on a school trip, so everything is gonna be a lot of fun. And I think I might, if next episode goes to plan, I might be able to check off one of the things from my bingo card, and that is romance between the side character. Because if Kajiki and the girl is like, if by the end of the episode, they actually got together, or not like really got together, but they actually flirt around and all those stuff. I think that is, I'm gonna consider that as romance between side character. Okay, so very interesting thing. But with that being said, that is all from me. Hope you enjoy. If you like what you see, you know what to do. Subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye.